Hello world, I'm Rich, and it's Rich's World Beer Tour. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, not on a Wednesday. Got Pete here. We're going to talk about rock and roll Outlaw Brewing. Finally got our duds, man. We got some shirts. Hey, we sent, the reason we're doing this, we sent a big box down to my son who's in the military for the men and women serving. We snuck a box onto the base with a bunch of our beers. So we thought we'd walk you guys through our beers. And everybody else, you can see what we're brewing. So we're going to try to not get too beer geeky, but just geeky enough where everybody knows what we're making. Let's dive in. Our first one, here's what style? Just a good pale.
Courtney, it's a fairly simple pale ale with maybe a little bit of an edge to it.
This one, now all our stuff, it's rock and roll. So most everything's got a name named after some rock and roll. Here's Courtney, named after Ms. Love. Little sweet looking thing, but it's got a bit of an edge to it. So here's our Oma. I got a little. Hey, when you guys are pouring your beers, make sure you got the right glassware. Get something that's got a good belt. Don't get those thin little glasses. Get something like that. Get something you can get your nose into. You got to be able to smell the beer to be able to taste it. So here's Courtney, our single malt, single hop. What's Simcoe and?
Yeah, it's just a plain old pale malt and lots of Simcoe hops.
And what do we end up with ABV?
It's about 5%.
So about a 5% beer. You guys that are going to be drinking these, have a little food in between them. Pace yourself. You got a lot of beers. So anyways, here's Courtney. Nice, beautiful white head. If you pour it fairly aggressive.
Nice citrusy nose.
Big citrus.
Yeah.
And now these were brewed in October, so
yeah.
Gang, it's dropped off a little bit. We had some issues getting the package down to you, but it's still a citrus bomb. Nice grapefruit finish.
Yeah, it's really
smooth other than that.
Simple, straightforward. There's not a whole lot to it.
This is, now we're in Minnesota, wearing long sleeves and looking out at snow. You're probably enjoying some warmer weather. This is a perfect lawnmower beer. It really is.
Yeah. Very easy. I think you had several after playing softball one day. And
yeah, that happens. All right, so there's pale ale. You guys following while you're drinking, pause the YouTube. We're going to pull out number 2. So that's Courtney. So our next one is one of the first ones that Pete pulled together. This is Working Man. This is inspired by Rush. So anybody that knows Rush, you get the song Working Man after a hard day at the office. Crank up Working Man and try this. Darker, more West Coast, nice amber color, darker head. Just a good old rock and roll beer. Something you can have a few with your buddies.
Again, very straightforward. This has got a couple of different malts to it, a pale malt and a couple of different caramel malts to give it a little more color. And then a Chinook, Pearl, and Cascade Centennial.
What's this thing come to with
this one
alcohol?
Comes out about the same, 4.75 to 5%.
Easy drinking. A lot of our stuff is we're not afraid of doing big beers, and you've got some big beers. This is not one of them. This is easy drinking, more caramely. I still get a bit of bitterness at the end, but it's just a nice malt hop combination. Easy drinking West Coast style pale ale.
There you go. Swirl it up.
And if you can crank up Rush's Working Man, God, it slides down real easy. Oh man. So that's beer number 2 that we've been working on. This is one of Pete's finest. I like that one.
Enjoy that one a lot.
So you got a couple of bombers. Hopefully you guys drinking this stuff down there. I sent you 2 bombers of each. With all the beer that I sent, I hope you got like 8 people there. If not, really pace yourselves, gang, on this one. All right, next, our Top Jimmy.
Yeah.
Now this one, how many hops we got in this thing, Pete?
Well, let's see. There are 3 different hops plus just 4 different hops plus couple of dry hop shots, and then we also threw in just some hop extract to really amp up the bitterness.
And
of
this thing
one.
is a higher. Now we're getting into some alcohol here, folks. So slow down, have some food. What do we got?
Yeah, the top Jimmy runs at about 8 to 8.25%.
So an 8%, almost double IPA, real big IPA. Top Jimmy, our little tip of the cap to Top Jimmy, the song by Van Halen, and also I think of Jimmy Page with that big double neck guitar playing those Zeppelin classics. Put on Whole Lot of Love live or something, and then have some of this.
There you go.
You'll understand Top Jimmy. Cheers. And again, this was done in October, so it's dropped off a bit, guys. I apologize for that. It's still hoppy.
Yeah,
Bitter.
still very bitter.
Sweet hops. There's citrus. There's pine. Some resiny, dank pine, and then there's that citrus piece. If you're an IPA lover and you're trying this, gang, this is I enjoy it, and a lot of people that like IPAs really dig this one. So
Yeah, not bad, and it's still definitely got
The
some
smell
flavor
is-
to it.
oh, the smell! I love that piney citrus combo.
Piney IPA.
Yeah. So anyways, Top Jimmy, number 3. Our next one. Now we're getting hops, but we're gonna get a little sweeter now. So
Yeah.
this is our Billy Idol, mid 80s. You know, Billy Idol always had that snarl and he had the fist in the air. This is Rebel Yell. This is our red
IPA.
Red IPA.
Yep.
What do we got? This is
By the way, the last IBU was 137 on Top Jimmy. This
137 IBU.
one, yeah, this one comes down to about 100.
So 100, really getting dark, a dark resiny brown, definitely a tan head versus some of that white of Courtney. You can see, still got a little Courtney left with that eggshell white, and this is just off. Tan, sticks to the glass. What's this come in at?
This one, 10.5%.
10.5. So we're moving her up. This is a nice imperial red. You get more caramel notes again. Really definite caramel, some red.
Oh yeah.
It is rich and red. This one you're going to get a ton of caramel, little toffee notes. The hops have dropped off a bit.
They have a fair bit.
It's usually a huge hop bomb and a huge caramel bomb.
Centennial and Cascade hops, so it's a bit of that citrus sort of
Yep.
flavor to it too.
And fresh, this thing is just an animal. It will snarl your lip and get you putting a fist in the air. It's still a caramel bomb, just caramely and sweet, but you can get that top of the tongue hop bitterness that comes along with it.
And dryness, yep. You bet.
Another one that we brewed this the first time, and I started drinking it, and I'm like, Pete, you hit on a gold mine. This thing is a knockout fresh. It is really good. So, anyways, there's Rebel Yell. Grab some crackers. Get ready for the next one. Now we're getting big here. The yellow top bottle that I gave you. Go for the yellow top. Now we're going to go to something you definitely want a big glass for this stuff. This is, now that we got our keezer, we got everything kegged, and we move this over from the keg to the bottle. Make sure hopefully she'll give some good head up there. Yep. Anyways, dark head. This is a rich, thick Imperial Stout. One we've been working on for a while. We've got a couple of variants of it. What's the ABV on this?
Well, let's see where this one came
Six.
in. This one fell off. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. This is 11 and a half.
I was gonna say this one
11.75%, something in that range.
just a classic thick. This is one where I said, Pete, here's what we need, and Pete delivered. I want thick. I want motor oil. I want a dark head. This is chocolate. When you smell it, get your nose down in there. Yeah, chocolate, coffee. There's toffee and caramel notes behind it. This is what we're still tweaking.
Touch of black licorice.
A little bit of black licorice, that anise note.
Yep.
Let's try it. I'm tired of smelling it. Chocolate. The chocolate's huge on this.
Yep.
The coffee, as she's aging, the coffee note is dropping off a little bit. But for 10%, this one is dangerously, it's scary. I mean, sticky mouthfeel, no alcohol. I'm feeling all the alcohol from the other ones a little bit. It's I don't know. It's a chocolate bomb right now, but those caramel notes, that sweet caramel in the background, a little touch of hop is what I'm getting. Not a lot.
Yeah, this one
should be able to get the head backed up.
This one definitely a lot of roasted malts in it, a little Willamette and Cascade hops.
And this one,
I think these are ones we grew, aren't
yep, the hops from the backyard. So you guys, we've actually grown the hops, the Willamette.
A little taste of Minnesota.
Little taste of Minnesota. I can taste it. I can taste summer. We need to get back out in the garden. All right, so you got that now. So our and that one's unnamed. So you guys, we're trying to figure out a name for a good, thick imperial stout. So any ideas on a rock and roll name? We're open to it.
We've had a few ideas, but nothing's really stuck.
Nothing's stuck yet. So now we've got our barley wine. This is the only recipe I've ever written. This guy is the creative genius behind all our beers. I just come up with stupid ideas. So our barley wine, I wanted big, thick. What was this for a 5-gallon batch? 26 pounds of.
Yeah, most of our beers run somewhere between 12 and maybe 17 pounds of grain. This one was about 27 pounds.
So I wanted
a
big.
lot more.
I wanted big, and I wanted the sweet. This is just raisiny brown, a nice thin head on it. Well, we'll taste it and we'll give our notes. Where does this thing end up?
Yeah, the barley wine was just over 11.25%.
Okay.
Yeah.
John, you know, maybe everybody knows the story behind it. This is called Spill the Wine, barley wine. I had written this recipe. Pete had put his life into it. We got it all brewed. A lot of tender loving care. Put it in the basement. And my wife knocked over something, then knocked over something, then knocked over something that knocked over the carboy of this. Luckily, only the airlock was broken. We, I think we put a little hop or put a little yeast in there to get some CO2 going again. Capped it. No damage. But it became known as Spill the Wine, barley wine. So, as a throwback to, I don't know, Spill the Wine, is that war?
I think it is. I think it is.
David,
war. Yeah.
if you're watching this, David named this beer. So, anyways, beautiful color, sticks to the glass. Where did it end up as far as ABV?
This is the one that's just over 11%, 11.25%. Yep.
It smells and tastes of liquid raisins. That's I mean, if you took caramel, threw a little caramel on top of liquid raisins and dates and figs, you know, your mouth's going to be sticky when you try it. This is a good dessert beer, nice warmer. If you got a cold night down there on post, here's your warm-up, gang.
Warm up for the evening.
The only thing I want to do, I want to brew this again, and I've told Pete I want to bring the hops more into it. It's very sweet, but I think we need to
bitter it up a little bit.
Bitter it up, get it more English.
A little more balanced.
A little more balanced. It's very sweet. You guys will notice. I mean, this is again dangerously easy to drink, but it is just a caramel, a dark fruit bomb. It really is. If you could liquefy raisins, here it is. So few bottles of this left. Anyways, our Spill the Wine, barley wine.
Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine.
There you
it's really.
And last but not least, John, we sent you 6 bottles of this because we had a hard time with all the carbonation of this. Hopefully it's still carb. We had it kegged. This is a Belgian strong, dark strong ale. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Yeah, Belgian star. Easy for me to say.
Belgian dark strong ale.
We tried bottling this, and because there was just so much carbonation in the style, we could only get about half filled. So, you guys, there's 6 of them, so you can have a little more. Pour it. Oh, it's still got a little life to it.
Oh man, there is still some life.
So, and this is another one that Pete has just absolutely, I think, knocked out of the park. Light in color. We're using our nice black list. Nice light in color. Pour it aggressive. If you can pour that thing high, because usually the head is nice and thick out of the keg. Just
Wow, sweet candy.
it's candied fruit for me.
Sweet candy.
If you think of fruit and you dunk them in candy or you caramelize them in sugar in a hot pan, that's what we've got.
And
This
swirl-
oh, there you
swirl
go.
it back.
Swirl it and get the head to come back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sweet candy.
Well, I didn't pour mine aggressive enough. Anyways, it's usually got about half as much head on there. Sweet candy. For people who don't like beer or think beer with any kind of color is not good, this one people are really digging. Where's this at? Isn't this like 8% or?
No, it's a little higher than that, I think, but it's not too bad. Yeah, it's 9 3/4.
After Harry Potter, 9 3/4. Hey, on this one, again, if anybody's got we're trying to find some sort of rock and roll connection to Belgium. I have no clue. So if you've got an idea for a strong ale, a Belgian strong ale, we're open to ideas for this one. But again, candied fruit, heavy, little Belgian funk with that the yeast. You're gonna notice a different yeast with the bubbles. It's gonna seems to scrub your tongue a little and get you ready for the next sip. So, hey, anyways, a long Homebrew Wednesday, explaining some of the beers from Rock and Roll Outlaw Brewing. If anybody wants a shirt, we got them for sale. $20. We'll talk shipping. Drop me a note. Got plenty of shirts from extra small all the way up to 3X. So we got them all. For all you men and women out there serving our country, we appreciate what you do. A night of enjoying some beers. Yeah, we got plenty of beer glasses.
Working man.
We got plenty of them. If you, the one that John's going to enjoy the most is probably Courtney.
Yeah.
Anyways, I appreciate everybody watching the channel. To our men and women serving our country, thank you. We got to come up with something for you guys. For those about to rock and serve, we salute you.
We salute you.
But anyways, I hope you that you guys are trying it. Enjoy it. If anybody wants to share some recipes, drop us a note. Anyways, thanks for sharing another 7 beers with us, world.
Cheers.
Cheers.